We are here with the awesome, we got Canada in the house. I'm very excited about this, by the way.
I love
Cory
it.
Marks, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's like I was mentioning earlier, there's we're getting that much closer to Christmas, so that means that with that around my neck of the woods comes a lot of snow. So we've
Yeah.
been lucky enough in November to be pretty warm and no snow. Like a lot of the weather was really much like Nashville weather, and then until the last couple days, it's just like boom. I guess they're Santa's coming, so
It's
snow's coming too.
right. You've been touring recently as well, though. I mean, it seems like you're on the road a lot anyway, but you've been out playing some shows and stuff like that. How has that been?
It was incredible. I just got off a 5-week tour with Theory of a Dead Man. We did 18 shows across the U.S. On the Unplugged tour, so it was a little bit different for me because it was like starting over back to the basics, where I got no band. There's just me, my guitar, and the songs, and a couple thousand people in these beautiful theaters across America. And the closest we got to Nashville was Knoxville,
Yep.
and that was a lot of fun. We played a lot of cool venues. Some and many that myself nor Fear of a Dead Man played yet either. So I would imagine because it's more the stripped down unplugged thing. So, but it was incredible, and the whole their whole crew is just awesome, and it was a lot of fun to kind of end the year on a U.S. tour. So
That's
it was
great.
really fun.
That's awesome. So, Sorry for Nothing, your new album is out now.
Hmm.
This is a great album. I'm a big fan anyway, so because I like my country a little bit rock. So
No,
this
thank you.
is right up my alley, and it is a really, really great album. You must be so, so proud of it. What's it like to kind of have it? Because these things take a while in the making. So what's it like for it to be, it's ready, it's
This
done, that's it.
this one took too long. It's songs from there's songs like "Late Night of Drinking Again," which is, one of my biggest country influences. Was Merle Haggard kind of tribute, if you will, I guess, that I wrote 7, 8 years ago. But I knew I really wanted this song. I wanted to hear it with a Nashville band with that steel guitar, and I
Yeah.
wanted it on this record. Whether there's heavy songs like "Guilty" or "Make My Country Rock" on it, I found a way to have the track listing so that would fit perfectly. Um, and it feels really good to finally have another full length record out, because the last one was August 2020. So, like I said, it's been too long since my first full length record. And this is 13 songs that I'm really proud of. I wrote with some really great writers out of Nashville, and of course the Churko boys out of Vegas, and some I wrote on my own back at home. And so there's songs that are 8 years old to 6 month old that are on this record. And the title track "Sorry for Nothing" is one a real special song to me, because it kind of talks about how kind of what I've been through, where I come from, and kind of how I got here, and um, through all that, and I'm sorry for nothing.
I love that. I love that
Mhm.
so much. I was going to ask you about the pilot thing because I did do a little bit of stalking on the internet just
Hey, it's
before.
okay.
I
Someone's got to do it.
I saw this video that you posted on Instagram not that long ago. This is not just you in a plane. This is you in a plane going like upside down and around about, and it's doing this whole
Mhm.
thing. Like, how, I mean, you have this story, this life story that could be a movie. Like, it's like the drumming, the plane, the
Oh,
hockey
that's so
stuff.
cool.
Tell us about the plane stuff. Like, I mean, that was your dream, right?
Yeah, since I was a little kid. So where I grew up in North Bay, Ontario, it was a very big military town. It still is now. They still do have NORAD, North American Air Defense. So there's only three in North America. There's North Bay, Winnipeg, and Colorado.
Yeah.
They moved everything above ground because there was a Cold War era, and we had the 414 electronical warfare. This is way before I was born. But however, growing up, there was a big air show, and that weekend, the Equishur International Air Show, or they called it the Heritage Festival. And so that weekend was the I think it was, yeah, the last week of July or first week of August, whatever it landed on. So during the day, there was air shows there was a big air show at the waterfront from 12 to 4. In the
Wow.
morning, there'd be a static display up at the airport. So my dad would take me up there and go meet the pilots and all that stuff, and then go down to the waterfront and watch the air show. But then at night from like 6 to 11 p.m. or 11:30, we had some of the biggest acts in the world that were entertaining. It was a concert right in front of the waterfront where the air show was. So it was a really cool setup. And I think I just got obsessed with doing that every summer and seeing planes come in. Like I remember, like, now old teachers will tell my parents if they run into him, like, I remember Cory when he was in class and he'd hear a jet go by and he'd run to the back of the class and be like, that's an F-18. Oh, the snowbirds are here. And he'd know all the jets and we're like, hey, they're in the middle of a test. You got to come sit down. And I was just telling this story to a friend not too long ago, like literally a few days ago, and it's crazy. Now that I think back, sometimes I'd hear a jet, like, and I knew something crazy was going on. It was going to be, and within minutes, I'd have a call from the principal's office over the speakers, like, to Miss whomever. Can you send Cory to the principal's office? His dad's here to pick him up. And we would literally, I'd hop in with my dad, and he'd bring me to the airport, and we'd like meet the pilots, sit in the jets, and
Oh wow.
it was just a really cool thing. And I started getting, I went for my pilot's license. That was during that whole junior hockey thing. Then that's how I ended up going to the military college because after high school, I thought, well, what am I going to do? I'm
Mm.
like, well, I've always wanted to be a pilot. There's a flight school in town. So I started my flight training. And right before I went to do my flight test, the school had shut down. So I was like, well, what am I going to do now? My brother was like, well, go play hockey until you figure out what you want to do. Like, go play junior hockey. Who knows what will happen? And it's crazy how I went through all these options and opportunities, like Ohio State University Division One, which I said no to because I didn't want to write the SAT test. And some people were like, that is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. But I was not interested. I was just out of high school, and um, I was really happy about that. And then one thing just kind of led to another. Then, like I said, the Royal Military College of Canada, there was that opportunity, which ultimately led me to playing in front of people and doing this whole music thing. So it's and throughout COVID, I finished my private pilot's license.
What is on the cards for 2025? Obviously, the album just dropped, but
Mhm.
and I'm sure that you're probably back on the road at some point because you seem to be very, very busy.
Well, in March, or yes, in March, I'll be coming to the UK for my first time, playing C2C.
This is
Uh,
very exciting. So this is what I this is a, it was a
yeah,
leading question. CTC is the biggest country music festival that Europe has,
yeah.
and CountryLine is actually the presenting partner of CTC. So we, are very heavily involved with it. It's such a great festival. This is your first time coming over to the UK?
Yeah, my brother played hockey in Coventry, Sheffield, after his because he was drafted to the NHL and played 6 or 7 years in the AHL. Excuse me, and then spent some time in the East Coast. And near the end of his career, he spent his last 4 years, excuse me, his last 4 years overseas. And he played in Germany. He played a couple of years in the UK, and then in Scotland. And but I never got to go see him play. I just didn't, things were kind of picking up for me, and
Mhm.
I wasn't able to make that trip across the pond. But it's been on my bucket list since I was a kid. Again, being the airplane and war buff, if you will, I've always wanted to visit those parts of the world and see, like my dad. First thing he said when he got to Coventry, he's like, man, we went to this I think it was like an old warehouse of some sort, but it's still standing and the roof's all gone, but it was bombed because that's where they built the
Yeah.
tanks. And and it was like, just to see that history, I think is really, really cool. But yeah, I'm going to be playing C2C this in 2025, I believe. I think it's 4 or 5 performances in the UK, and then we'll do 2 or 3 in Germany, France. Actually, we end in the UK, so I start in Germany, and then Netherlands, France, and then we end in the UK. I think I'll be there for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to, because I know they love their beer over there too. So I'm gonna fit right in.
Oh, we do love a drink. Yes, that is for sure. So all of the drinking songs that you have, basically, that lead with those, because you love a good old
No
drinking
problem.
song. Well, that's going to be awesome. We can't wait to see you over in the UK, obviously. And it's going to be a great year for you. The album, like I said, is, absolutely brilliant. I love it. Sorry for
Thank you
nothing. It's
so
out
much.
so go stream it, buy it, do everything. And yeah, we'll see you in the UK if we do not see you in Nashville beforehand. But best of luck with everything. I just think that, it's going to be a great year. And when you get the plane, can I please come for a ride?
100%. I will take you up. We'll go inverted. We'll do all kinds of things. Anything that you're up for doing, we'll make sure we get it done.
That sounds awesome. Cory, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.